Rob G, we got a little NFL news and just the idea that the Pittsburgh Steelers are making some moves.
Steelers.
That's right. And break it down for us.
That's right. The Pittsburgh Steelers made another move. This has been the offseason of activity for Pittsburgh, which is rare for them. Earlier on Monday, before NBA free agency kicked off, all the fireworks came out of the NFL because the Pittsburgh Steelers executed a trade with the Miami Dolphins that saw them send all-pro safety Minkah Fitzpatrick and a future draft pick to the Miami Dolphins for all-pro corner Jalen Ramsey and do-everything tight end Jonnu Smith. The move reunites Jonnu Smith with their offensive coordinator Arthur Smith, and more importantly, it helps bolster a defense which was already the highest paid in football, but now they add the all-pro Jalen Ramsey. Appears that Pittsburgh is going all in around Aaron Rodgers in 2025.
You want to go first?
You go ahead.
I'm all in for this. Pittsburgh hasn't won a playoff game since 2016. We're going on 10 years.
That's crazy.
Okay? Just forget about getting to – they haven't won a playoff game. It's a proud organization. The heat is on, I think, for the fan base, for Mike Tomlin, front office, ownership. People are like, okay. And I'm cool with this because the only reason you would go get an Aaron Rodgers is you have to be all in. You're not – rebuilding 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That makes no sense. So you put something together, and you hope that you can have a team that could possibly win a – I'm not saying they're going to win a championship or whatever, but I do like – if I'm a Steelers fan, I'm tired of the idea of finishing over 500. That didn't mean anything to me. I never – that whole streak with Mike Tomlin, that doesn't do anything for me.
There's
early in his career when he won the Super Bowl.
There's an expiration. All right
that was good. This, and then when they went to the Super Bowl against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and they lost. You know what I mean? Like, okay, they won one, they went to another one. Like, those were the Pittsburgh days. You don't have to win all the time. No one's going to win all the time. But now you're talking about 2016. I mean, my God, how long ago? That's when I moved to L.A. I mean, I've been here forever now. You see this gray hair? I didn't have any of this in my goatee when I showed up here almost 10 years ago. So that's a long time. And it just makes sense to me to be all in because after this, if you want to, replace the coach, rebuild, you know what I mean, tear it down or whatever, or you think, hey, we made a run. All people care about is, are you in the mix and can I get to the dance and have a chance to win? Like anything can happen. Guys could be injured. Somebody could throw a bad pick. Like there's so many things that can happen to you that you could take a look at. The team that's supposed to beat you, the Detroit Lions, or the number 1 seed, they're 9.5-point favorites. They're at home, and guess what? Their quarterback wets the bed and throws 3 interceptions and a fumble, right? And all of a sudden, the Commanders are on their way, and not the Lions. Like that's what can happen. So I'm cool with this. If Pittsburgh is going to go out of their way to bring in Aaron Rodgers, they need to do these steps. Put the best people around, make some moves. You can't go with what you had last year, you know what I mean, and just say, well, the only difference is we're just going to change the quarterback. They've made moves, and I'm for once, I'm cool with it.
I'm actually not mad at making moves. I just don't like who they made the moves for as much as maybe you do or some other people. I feel like it's a reshuffling of the deck. I feel like it's, if you got it. Rob G always has a nice haircut he gives himself, and he's got the part on his left side. It will be like getting the same haircut, but then putting a part on the right side and be like, yo, I did something different. To me, it's the same car, different paint, same girlfriend, just got a different name. She looked the same, act the same, just got a different name. And that's my thing, Rob. I actually am with the all-in. To me, some examples would be when the Bucks were all in, when they got Tom Brady, they brought back Gronk, they got AB, and that team to me was already tailor-made. Tom and a couple of other pieces was ready to do something, especially in a bad division as they were in back then. The Rams, when they were like, man, we just need a Von Miller, we need an Odell Beckham Jr., we need a Jalen Ramsey. As the Steelers just got a younger Jalen Ramsey. So to me, those things made differences when you had the quarterback who was still wheeling and dealing, and you say, a couple pieces here, 1 piece there, we should be good to go. I don't think Aaron Rodgers, and again, I don't think he's going to be bad. Let me be very clear. but I don't think he gets you over the hump. And I was looking at crunching.
See, I disagree with you when you talk about the hump. They won 10 games with 2 quarterbacks they weren't happy with. Like that.
But, so I'm glad you let me do.
So
you let me do that.
My point.
And I get what you're saying. But my thing, Rob, to that is Aaron Rodgers is another year older, right? And that's just anybody. We just sat up here and talked about LeBron last hour. He's another year older with a new offense, a new system, and a team where he's already saying, yeah, this might be my last. I guess this will probably be my last. To me, what it will take for them to win, you need to have had something, a massive shift. And if you look at the offensive,
to win a playoff game,
but they can't. That is embarrassing, Rob.
No, it's not.
I know. I'm with you that they need to.
Because you can't win a Super Bowl when you haven't won a playoff game.
But to me,
you got to first win a playoff game.
But what I'm saying is, I'd rather just win a playoff game with my new guy who is we're building towards something. Meaning, okay, you just win the wild card game with Aaron Rodgers, and then you lose in the next round, and he's gone next year. It was like, what was the point? Like, okay, we won one wild card game. To me, I'd rather have my Jaden Daniels, my young guy, Michael Penix Jr., Bo Nix, and we got there. Now we won. Okay, now we're trying to keep moving.
But maybe you don't. Maybe you don't. But maybe with that new guy, just like Penix, the Falcons had a chance to go to the playoffs. They put him in, and they actually did make the playoffs because they put a rookie quarterback.
Right, because they're trying to build. And if you're a Falcons fan, you're excited about what's to come. They saw Kirk Cousins throw more interceptions than anything in the last 6-7 weeks.
But it's still about trying to get into the playoffs.
So what I'm saying is building towards something. I think as a fan,
but they don't have that quarterback. They don't have that guy in place. And
which day? Are we talking about the Steelers?
Steelers, and
that's because they didn't want him, Rob.
No, they didn't believe that those guys. No, hear me out. They didn't believe that those quarterbacks are there. They think there's a better quarterback class next year.
But if they're trying to win the playoff game, they ain't gonna get them.
Well, but you don't.
So that's what I'm saying.
No,
you either be building towards something.
You could also
either
trade.
Suck. Rob. You either suck, be building towards something where you like, this is
okay.
Maybe
So
we're going
if they suck like you think they are, then they could get their quarterback.
No, they're not
and if
going
they
to
don't,
suck. That's the problem.
That's what you said.
No, they're going to be like
you got
8 and 9.
I want
7 and 10.
I want us to be. I think right here, and I want to do this today. I think this will be your worst football take of all season. I'm already putting it out there. You got them for 8 wins. I want to put a bet on that.
I got to wait and see what TJ Watt. That's a massive part of it. That's their best player.
But you're telling me now that they're 8 wins.
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because if it's the only move, and I was going to get to this, sir, the only reason I bring that up is because if TJ Watt, I was telling Rob G this, he's the one to me that obviously he's great. He's great. We know that. But if they get a haul for him, right now, all of a sudden you get another receiver, you get a back. Like if they get a haul for TJ Watt, then we're having a different conversation. So I have to. That's a massive part because now you might be bringing in some very good pieces, similar to what I mentioned with the Bucs.
You said the team is not good even where they are now.
Right, because I'm saying if you bring in
how many people?
TJ Watt?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
He's not good. So I'm saying if you get a top receiver, say you get a number 1 or a top tier 2.
But you said Aaron Rodgers is not.
Right, because I'm saying, Rob, you need everything. When you're not that great anymore, you need everything around you. If this were Aaron Rodgers 6 years ago, he's good to go because he's that Aaron Rodgers.
You don't have to be that 6 years ago. Patrick Mahomes won 15 games with the same stats.
He's not Patrick Mahomes.
He won 15 games with the same stats.
Because they have a great defense.
No, they were lucky, and a lot of things went their way.
I'll give you a handful of 2 or 3 games.
No, a lot of
but then they had a great defense, and he didn't have to. And he made that. I'm glad you let me.
And then they were able to get to the Super Bowl somehow, even though they weren't really good. I didn't think they were good all year.
Rob. They were really good. They definitely. I'll give you a handful of games. It was a missed kick or their kick hit the thing and went in.
Games.
But the other part was that they knew how to win. And that's the difference of where Aaron Rodgers is. It's not that he's going to have horrible games every game. It's that when it comes to making the play, if it's tied game and it's 3rd and 8, he might throw for 6, then they got to punt. And where the difference is now at this point, Patrick Mahomes can run for that 3rd 8, and they end up winning the game by a field goal. Wasn't a great game. He didn't play his best. He made 3 to 4 plays a game that won the game. I don't believe Aaron Rodgers can do that for the bulk of a season. That's the difference right there. And if you look at their numbers, total offense, they were 22nd. Passing offense, they were 27th. Rushing, they were 11th. They got rid of Najee Harris. Hold on, so this is where I'm going with this, Rob. They did all that with Russell Wilson, who essentially was slightly better.
Russell Wilson?
What do you mean?
They had 2 quarterbacks last year. Your guy.
Right. No, I'm saying they were slightly better. Russell Wilson was slightly better than Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking hair on both chins. And so, to me, if I got the essentially same guy and one is 5-6 years younger, and if that's kind of how we're running it back, why not run it back with that guy instead of the guy who's another year older and who's still coming off that Achilles injury from a year and a half ago, whatever it was.
That's over. I mean,
so to me, I don't get that part of it. And they're all in, and I just see a bunch of swaps. Okay, Minka Fitzpatrick, Jalen Ramsey, maybe a slight hair to Jalen at this point. Jalen ain't Jalen when he went to the Rams at this point. You get George Pickens is really good, but a little hothead, a little crazy. I'll give you that. So you go and leave him and get DK Metcalf. It's not as if you had Pickens on the outside and DK Metcalf. Then I'm like, oh,
yeah, but
shoot.
they thought that they got rid of Pickens because of some issue.
Right, but I'm saying you didn't. So now I only got a guy, though. You get what I'm saying? It's not like you have both.
DJ Metcalf, you saying he's just a guy?
I'm saying a singular guy, meaning I have one. You're not adding. Everything you're doing is replacing.
I think the idea you talk about 8 games, I think you're way off. I think whether TJ
two losses to the Ravens. That's two.
It ain't all
two losses. I'll split you with the Browns. Split you with them.
They might win both games with the Browns.
I'll split you for sure with the Bengals. They ain't beating the Bengals. They ain't beating the Bengals both.
Okay.
And so to me, they just did a bunch of swapping out. George Pickens, DK Metcalf.
They won. What were they? 4-1 with a quarterback who can't throw last year to start the season.
And it all went downhill after that.
No, it did not. They won 5 in a row.
And then how many they went after that, Rob? 5 in a row. How many they went after that, Rob?
You said they went down.
How many did they win after that?
They
lost 6 straight.
They knew what they were doing, and that the idea that the quarterback that they had wasn't the guy that they wanted. That's why they didn't keep him.
I don't agree with them. I'm agreeing with you. I don't agree. I agree that that's what they chose because clearly that's what they did. I don't agree with that.
They watched him in practice and all the other reasons. He's way younger. He's got an upside. Oh, finally. And all this, and they still weren't there.
How long you been covering this league?
Since 1986.
NFL? I thought NFL was 86.
No, baseball.
So NBA and NFL were 87. So since 1987, you telling me teams ain't made a mistake?
Sure they have, but not.
That's all I'm saying. I agree that they were like, no, we want to win now.
You got a quarterback,
he's a Super Bowl
top
winner.
Quarterback like that who was drafted high, who's been on his 4th team in 4 years. Everybody's wrong. Everybody's not wrong.
I just feel like I wanted to see what he has.
You tell me about a quarterback who's been traded that much or not wanted on his 4th. What is it? Bears, Steelers, and the Jets. And that's all in how many years? That's in 3 years.
Now?
No,
3
3.
Oh, you're talking about the trade.
The last 3 years he's been on 3 teams.
Yep. And but to me, they're just doing the same. It's the same haircut, part on the other side. It's the same car, different paint. To me, they just swapped out guys.